What's up people, it's Nakul again from Tech Boy, back with the honest review video of the new Motorola Moto X Play. So let's get started. Okay guys, so you know the drill, the pros and the cons, what a normal user would like and dislike in this phone. So starting with the pros, the first thing that I like about this phone is the looks of the device. As usual in all black and the speaker grills at the top and the bottom, it looks really great. Plus the curviness of the screen at the edges is really great. It gives this device a premium look just like the Galaxy S6 Edge. I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera or not, but there is curviness at the edges and it feels really great in the hand. The back has rubber textured finish and this strip in the middle with the M. So yeah, the device looks really great and it's really great to hold in the hand because of the curve at the back. It just fits in your hand. So yeah, this is the first thing, the look, the design of the device. This is the first thing that I like about this phone, guys. So the second thing that I like about this phone is the display of this device, the screen. It has 5.5 inches of display which is full HD 1080p and it has Corning Gorilla Glass 3. So yes, the display is really sharp, crisp and clear. The contrast, the colors and everything is so vivid. I think this display is certainly better than the display of OnePlus One. I like the colors and contrast better than the screen of OnePlus One. So yes, this is the second thing that I like about this phone, the display. I mean the touch response and everything is so great. It's just great, I would say. So there's the second thing that I like about this phone, guys. Now moving on to the third thing that I like about this phone, which is one of the main features of this device, and that is the battery of this device. It has 3630 mAh battery, which is quite large if you ask me. And the battery backup I got was 32 hours, the whopping 32 hours with normal to less usage, guys. I was doing WhatsApp, Facebook, a bit of calling, web surfing and some other stuff as well because I was experimenting with the new device, and that's the battery backup I got, 30 to 32 hours, and the screen time was around 4.5 or I think near to 5 hours. So that's pretty amazing if you ask me, because it has a huge processor, 1.7 GHz octa-core, and the screen is also 5.5 inches, so I think it's pretty great. So even if you use heavily, I think you're gonna get easily around 18 to 20 hours. So yeah, this is the third thing that I like about this phone, the battery backup of this device, guys. So now let's move on and talk about the fourth thing that I like about this phone, which is the performance of this device. Now this phone has 1.7 GHz octa-core processor and the performance is pretty great. As this phone is pure Android, no bloatware, no skins or no themes. So the performance of this device is pretty great, no lags whatsoever. I face literally no lags, no jitterness, no stutterness, anything, nothing at all. So yes, the performance of this device is pretty great. Though I did run the benchmarks on this phone and the scores weren't as I was expecting them to be, because they were a bit less than I was expecting them to be. But anyways, the performance in day-to-day life is pretty great. But if you still want to see the benchmark video, then click right over here, guys. And now moving on to the fifth thing that I like about this phone is that this phone is actually water splash resistant, guys. I did a water test on this phone and it's still working fine. I poured lots of water and put it under running tap and this is still working fine. As you can see, it's the same device that I was using for the water test and it's working fine. Everything works fine, calling, GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything works fine. So yes, indeed this phone is water splash resistant in day-to-day life and can easily take everyday water splashes. So that's the fifth thing that I like about this phone, guys. And if you want to see that water test that I did on this phone, then click right over here, guys, and this will take you directly to that video. Anyway, so now moving on to the sixth thing, which is also the last thing that I like about this phone, guys, and that is the front facing loudspeaker. Now the loudspeaker of this phone is pretty loud and clear. The quality is also pretty nice. However, it's missing some treble, I would say. The speaker is tuned to give more vocals and less treble. But anyways, it's always good to have a front facing loudspeaker. So that's the sixth thing that I like about this phone. So those were the pros about this phone, guys. Now before I move on to the cons part, let's talk about the camera, because yes, as usual, the camera has some good things and bad things as well. So let's talk about the camera. Now I'm not going to show you the camera interface right now, guys, because that would take even more time, but if you want to see that, then click right over here. This is the unboxing video of this phone in which I showed the whole camera interface. So if you want to see that, click right over here, guys. Though you know the camera interface of Motorola, which is pretty basic and all, so here it is, just to give you an idea, but I'm sure you know how it is. But anyways, now talking about the camera, you must be knowing that camera is one of the main feature of this phone. 21 megapixel, guys, and yes, indeed, it's really great. The picture quality of this phone is just stunning and amazing, guys. No matter outdoors or indoors in low light, but it's just amazing, especially outdoors. The quality of the pictures are so damn good that I can't tell you guys. And plus there is one more thing, especially I want to show you. Just like the iPhone, you can toggle the brightness of the camera or exposure right from the screen. In this phone you can do that too. Here we go, which comes in handy in many situations, because sometimes you are in a brighter place or in direct sunlight and you want to increase the exposure because you can't get the object that you want in the camera. So this thing comes pretty in handy. Here we go. Anyways, you can see the picture samples now. So as you guys just saw the picture sample, you can see the camera quality is really great, guys. Though I'm sorry I don't have much picture samples to share with you guys in different situations because I just moved on into my new house, so everything is messed up over here. But anyways, you got an idea. But trust me on this, guys, the camera of this phone is really great. Plus there is one more thing I wanted to show you guys. I'm not sure if I can show you right now or not because there is lots of light in this room and it only works in a darker place or where the light is very less. Now whenever you turn on a front facing camera and you want to take a selfie but you're in a dark place or in a dark room, so the screen becomes sort of a flash thing, or it just goes all white to give you more light on your face in a darker place so that you can get a better selfie. Let me just try and show you. Here we go. Here we go, as you can see. So now this is a really great feature when you are in a dark room or a darker place, so you can get a selfie. So as I just showed you, now this is one thing that I really wanted to show you guys and I really liked in the camera of this phone. Plus before I move on and talk about the video recording quality, I want to mention that I know that this phone doesn't have all those customizations in the camera like the exposure, contrast and all those geeky stuff. But I don't think that anybody uses that in day-to-day life. I mean, I don't remember myself using or setting up the contrast, exposure, ISO manually before taking a pic, because we are in such a hurry to take a pic that we just take out and click in auto mode or whatever. I rarely use even HDR. I don't know about you guys, but that's just my personal opinion, and I think it will be the same for the most of the guys. I do use HDR or night mode sometimes, which this phone also has, I think. But apart from that, I don't think that I ever use any other settings. So I wanted to mention that yes, I really like the camera of this phone. Simple and sober, and the picture quality is really great. Anyways, let's talk about the video recording quality, which is pretty good too. But there are some things missing that I want to show you. If we start recording, now as you can see, there is no tap to focus. Instead, it takes a picture while you are recording the video, so there is no tap to focus. Plus there is no flash toggle while you are recording the video. However, you can turn it on and off before you start recording. So these two things are missing, but as you can see, the video stabilization is also pretty good, guys. See that? It's really great. So that was the camera part, guys. Now let's move on to the cons part, the bad things, the things that I don't like in this phone. And the first thing I don't like in this phone is that there is no up and down signal in the 3G or Wi-Fi, whether the data is going or coming. If I turn on the Wi-Fi, you will be able to see it. Now as you can see, I turned on the Wi-Fi and there is no up and down signal if the data is coming or going, and that's really annoying because sometimes you are unable to load website or Facebook or something and you just don't know if data is coming or going or if anything is happening or not. However, you can see that in the notification area right over here when the data is going and coming, but on the main notification bar you can't see it, not in Wi-Fi and neither in the 3G. So that's one thing. It's a very little thing. I don't know about you, but it matters to me, because sometimes your Wi-Fi stops working or your 3G is not transferring data. So it's really important to see those arrows if the data is going and downloading or uploading or not. So that's the first thing that I don't like about this phone. Now moving on to the second thing that I don't like about this phone, guys, is that there is no option to turn on the battery percentage, to show battery percentage in this phone. In settings or anywhere I couldn't find it. As you can see, here is a battery bar right over here. Now if I go in the settings, here we go, in battery, as you can see there is no option here, and not even over here, as you can see, and not even if I click on this. So as you saw that there is no option. But if you guys, any of you know how to turn it on, then please let me know in the comments down below, guys, because that would be really helpful for me and many other users as well. However, you can see the battery percentage if you pull down the notification bar right over here, but it's really annoying. You can't always pull down notification bar to see your battery. It has to show right over here, or else you'll have to install a widget from the Play Store that would be placed on your main screen. But as you saw, there is no option, so that's the second thing that I don't like about this phone. Now moving on to the third thing that I don't like about this phone, guys, is that the equalizer in this phone is not customizable by yourself. If I go in the play music, over here settings, equalizer, as you can see, I cannot customize it. You have bunch of preset options, as you can see, bass punch, balanced, and vocalizer, but you cannot personalize it by yourself. Not in over here and not over here. Well, you can turn it on or off, but as you can see, you cannot personalize it by yourself, so that's a bummer. The third thing that I don't like about this phone, guys. Now moving on to the fourth thing that I don't like about this phone, guys, is that there is no notification LED in this phone. Now I think that's really bad, because it should be there in all the phones, because it makes it easier to see if there is a missed call, messages, or any pending notification, because it's just keep blinking, but it's not there in this phone. Now instead of that, they gave another feature, which leads to the fifth thing that I don't like about this phone. It's supposed to be a feature, but I don't like it, and I also talked about it in the Moto G3 review. It's called the Moto display. If I go in the settings, display, screen notification, as you can see, Moto display, show important notification as interactive icons. Now it's on, but it's annoying because it turns on the screen every time you move the phone, and it turns it on even on the slightest movement or vibration. Now for example, your phone is on the bed, on the mattress, and when you climb on your bed or get on it, the mattress obviously moves a little bit and it turns on the screen. Hence you think, as you can see, hence you think that your phone is ringing or there is a message, but in fact it's just turning on the screen because of the movement. And even if your phone is on the table and you put something on the table, or there's another phone vibrating on a table, it will turn on the screen. Let me show you. Okay, so obviously it's not working right now. I mean, yes, it's really annoying. When you want it to work, it doesn't, and when you don't want it to work, it does. So here we go. Now that was a pretty a good movement, but even on slightest movement, let me show you. Okay, so now here we go. It is annoying, guys, trust me on that. So that's the fifth thing that I don't like about this phone, this Moto display. And the fourth thing was that there is no notification LED in this phone. So those were the pros and cons about this phone, guys. Now let me tell you about the call quality, which is pretty great too. I would give it 9 out of 10 in the call quality, because yes, indeed, it's pretty great. The headset is pretty loud and clear. You can hear the person really well, and the other person can also hear you the same way. So yes, it's a pretty great phone. If we ignore those little cons, then yes, it's a great phone. Love the battery backup, love the camera and the loudspeaker. The screen is great. There are no lags or anything. So yes, indeed, overall it's a great phone, guys. So that's pretty much it for right now, guys. This was the honest review video of the new Motorola Moto X Play. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. That would help me a lot, guys. Plus again, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you want to know something about this phone, or I have missed something to tell you about this phone, then you can always ask me in the comments down below. Plus you can also catch me on my Facebook page. The link of that page will be in the description below. You can even ask me questions over there as well. So go and like me there as well. Thank you for watching, guys, and please do subscribe for more upcoming videos. See you next time.